good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. Well, please let me know if you could hear me. Let me see. Alright, I hope everyone's having a great day today. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. We're getting ready for some music. You guys who come up ready for fall? Please let me know. Like, I hope everyone's having a great day today. Like, getting ready for. Can't wait for the fall weather because this year's been really hot here. Yeah, waiting on Mary to come up from Blessed Crochet. Let me know if you could hear me, if everything sounds good, or if I'm coming out clear or distorted, just let me know. Let me see something real quick. There it goes. Okay, let me check 1 2 check, testing out the mics, making everything sounding good, trying to get a good stereo sounding. Check 1 2 check, testing out. Check 1 2 testing. And kind of start up slowly. Hello, Mary. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm good, and you? I'm just like,
I'm hanging in there.
yeah, I've been, yeah. There's some changes to my setup recently.
That's okay as long as it works, right?
Yeah, my audio equipment had to there's something that I don't have no more. My CD deck is gone. Basically, it quit working, so I ended up replacing it with this right here.
Well, what is that?
It's a Bluetooth CD player.
Okay.
Bluetooth. It has like for USB to play music off, like the USB sticks and memory card. And it
Okay.
has a built-in cassette recorder,
That's good.
so I could easily. So the Bluetooth, it has Bluetooth. You can play music off your phone onto this, or you can also the Bluetooth. What's great about this, it works both ways. You could transmit and receive. So you could transmit it via to a Bluetooth speaker. So if I
That's
wanna
good.
transfer a tape, I could transmit the Bluetooth signal onto this as my recorder.
Right. All the my husband would know all that stuff. I just kind of like just give me the easiest technology in the world.
Yeah, and it's portable, rechargeable battery.
Well, that's good.
Yep. I mean, I snagged a deal out of Amazon. Like $45. It's normally like $60, $70.
Well, that was a good deal then.
Oh yeah, I snagged it.
Trying to make myself not look so pink. I don't know why I'm pink tonight. It's like I found a present for my daughter at Walmart. It was on clearance. And I'm like, yep, early Christmas present. Gonna get it now because there was only one left.
Right. But I snagged it because they're regularly like $65, $70. But I snagged it.
Well, that's good that you snagged it.
Yeah. And I didn't really have to pay for it because I used all my gift card balance to cover the cost.
Well, that's good.
That I've
Gift
been made
cards
from
are.
my cash walk, from all the walking I've been doing on the trails.
It looks a little bit better. Can't get the lighting today to work well.
Yeah.
It's probably because I'm wearing pink and it's reflecting pink. Did you see? Were you able to see a little bit of that paint pour I did outside today?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
See,
I left it running the whole time.
people, you don't have to know how to paint. You just have to put the colors in and just
Yeah.
make
And
their
just
own.
just kind of tilt it to smudge the paint.
Yep. What you're doing is trying to create cells
Yeah.
in the paint.
I think that's done with epoxy or another type of acrylic.
Yeah, they can do it with epoxy if they're going to be doing it in paper. They use alcohol ink paint. But for that specific, what we were
Yeah.
doing tonight was
I think it's epoxy or carbon.
you
Carbon
use
fiber.
acrylic paint for what we were doing our bases tonight, Rose.
Yeah.
And you could use silicone, which would have only made um, the cells bigger, but I
Right.
chose not to do that. I didn't have any, and I thought it would have. And if when I find my heat gun, you can use the heat gun and put it on there. I'm not gonna. You can still make pretty stuff without it. It's one of those
Right.
things nice to have it, but it's not terribly necessary. The Floetrol does a lot. But see, now I'm clean. I have no can paint all over me.
Right.
Came in and I'm going to get all ready for bed. We got church tomorrow.
Church tomorrow. Yeah.
Try to go to church tomorrow.
Well,
Hi, Sandy. Did you enjoy that paint pour we did on my channel? That was fun. I'm thinking about getting ornaments and doing those and then putting them up in the store and see if anybody wanted like to have them to make them, have them for Christmas presents.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? You could make braille ornaments too.
Well, the problem with the braille ornaments is the paint may affect, how to,
Right.
you know what I mean? I was just thinking if I got like wooden, 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 ornament,
Right.
that looked like ornament, the paint pour would make it like really pretty. I mean, there are people that do glass. They'll take they do it with alcohol ink. They'll take a glass ball
Right.
ornament and they'll put the paint in there and then they'll swirl it around and they'll make those designs
Right.
and those are really pretty too. There are people that do that and they do. I mean, then it's all encompassed. It's got the glass or the plastic, and they'll put them in and make some beautiful ornaments. But I was thinking more of the wooden flat ones, and if I got paw prints, that would be really cool.
Right. Now I'm gonna start real slow tonight. I'm gonna start with a Madre de Ternura.
Okay, if I turn my camera off, I'm listening and I'm watching them comments.
Right.
But I'm eating something because I'm hungry.
Okay. All right.
I didn't get a chance between the end of paint pour and getting everything in and getting a snack. So.
Madre eres ternura means in English, your mother tenderness.
Beautiful. I found these wooden ones, and they have Christmas trees, snowmen, which are my favorite, stars, the ornament shape, and the angel. That would be really pretty.
Right.
Well, they even have Mickey Mouse ears. I'm having my cottage cheese bagel.
Yeah, we're barely cooling down here, like in the mid 80s now.
Oh, it was, by the time I got in, it was 54 degrees inside. It was getting cool.
54?
Yeah, it was 54 degrees. It was getting cold.
Yeah, but so we're getting down, like at night, we're getting down to the low 60s, upper 50s.
Oh, I loved it. Believe me, I can't get enough of it.
Right.
Yeah, Sandy, it's just acrylic paint. The more you get, the more you do, like the better quality paint you get, the better pigment it is that's going to come through. So the craft paint's great because it just starts out. I wouldn't even bother getting Dollar Tree paint because it'll just evaporate.
You know what? I don't usually, if I were to get paint, I'd rather get at Hobby Lobby because they have the better selection and then better quality.
But there's higher end quality. There's higher end acrylic paint, and the higher you go in quality, the better the color vibrance is going to be.
Yeah, from my experience, I paint on plastic. Acrylic won't stick to plastic, so it has to be a specialty paint that will stick to plastic.
I think they have paint that will stick. Some acrylic paints will.
Because I think for plastic, it's like an oil-based paint. Somehow, it's not acrylic or water-based. Because I think acrylic is water-based.
I think so too. I mean, I love the thing about acrylic paint that I love, or not acrylic paint, paint pour, is you can literally not know what you're doing. It's like,
right.
If you think you're going to mess it up, the part you have to watch is if you spend too much time trying to make it perfect, you're going to mess it up.
Yep.
So you have to stop. Like when I got to I didn't have to go very far on the snowflake. I was like, I'm done. It's perfect. Yeah, but if you keep messing around with it, you'll wind yourself up in a.
Right.
Be like, okay, let's just change this and this, and then before you know it.
So now I'm going to play a song from New Mexico, where I'm from, called Viva Albuquerque. Alright, that was Viva Albuquerque. An old classic from New Mexico from the 1960s. I was probably a teenager at that time when I first heard that song. I was in middle school when I first heard it.
Come on, computer.
That was an old classic. Because I know in New Mexico the music is a lot of the music in New Mexico. They mix, like a lot of Spanish music. They usually more use like electric guitar, the brass section, like the saxophone, a little bit of trumpet, and stuff like that. And they like more like the twang, like a mixture of country, rockabilly, the mixture. You're muted.
Oh, Lord. I just sit there going, okay. Be nice.
Yeah.
Technology, I just love it.
Yeah. It's a love and hate relationship with technology.
It was like today. It was like, gravy, I can go ahead and do this, and I can go ahead and put my camera,
Yeah.
go in on my phone, and because I guess my phone was on StreamYard and that, it was impossible to do. And I was just like, no, that won't work. And I thought, okay, add an extra camera. Yeah, well, that's the professional thing. So now
Yeah.
you got to upgrade StreamYard. I'm like, oh, please. One day. It worked. Everybody got to see. It's just like, I can't see any comments, but.
Yeah. There's a way around it. If you want to add second camera, you could get a switch with the HDMI switch. Basically, what it is a switch, a video switch. You can switch between two cameras
Okay.
instead of having to pay for the professional version. And then you use the video capture card and hook up the video switch to the capture card. That's
I don't know how I would do that on my Chromebook, though. Because I ain't paint pouring none here.
right. Yeah, this is a video capture card right here.
Okay.
It's about $100.
Okay.
That work for any laptop, desktop. It should work for your Chromebook. And also,
So you would put that into the camera. Because
yeah,
mine just took up, like, mine's a regular, one of the UP, whatever the thing is.
USB. But
Yeah.
it has to be a camera with
USB.
the HDMI output. Because this is HDMI.
Okay, so you put one side in one and one side in the other?
This was the USB plugged into your computer, but then if you get a video switch, it will look something like this, like two out,
Okay.
two HDMI inputs, and they
Okay.
will go on here, and the switch will have like a button to switch between
Okay.
video sources.
All right,
And
so
I
I'd
think
have to get another camera.
Yeah, that has an
I couldn't use my
HDMI
phone.
output.
I couldn't use my phone.
Right.
That's what I was trying to do, was use my phone. I thought, well, I can just give myself an invitation and go into StreamYard.
Yeah.
But no, because then it was doing that reverberating noise. Even I thought, I'll just mute myself. Well, that didn't work.
No. I tried doing that to get multiple angle. Doesn't work that way.
I thought, well,
Because
I
it takes
can't
up more bandwidth that way.
but I had mods who had my back, so I knew they were watching and making sure everybody was behaving themselves.
Yeah. want to tell
Yeah,
you another.
I have my daughter's coming over tomorrow after church,
Right.
and then next week I will catch up with you about the the
The mocha.
the mocha. I have a couple ideas. I love the round one, but I have a couple ideas of maybe moving the wording and stuff.
Right.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm like, when that camera, Sandy, was pointed down, I couldn't see any comments. I'm like, I know you guys got my back. I'm not worried about anything. So I
Right.
have some ideas, but we're really focusing on getting all of our shout outs done and our shorts done and all that kind of stuff loaded till the end of the year because we have our craft show and I want to get busy doing that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I've got to get my hands out of this so that I can do more paint pouring and stuff like that. So
Right.
I've got to focus on that and then I'll get with you. But I have one. It's a really cute mug and Mocha has her head tilted and I call it the head tilted mug.
Yeah.
So at least there's one up. And then
Yeah.
do you know
Now the mocha file, well, it wasn't hard at all, because it was basically just one color.
well, I was thinking of with the Mocha's clan. I was
Yeah.
thinking of taking Mocha's clan and dividing it and just making Mocha and clan separate so that wherever I
Oh,
want to place them I
yeah.
can. And making it maybe a little lighter of a turquoise.
Right.
But I was thinking on the circle part, if there would be a way to kind of make Mocha in cursive, where
Right.
like on half the circle, you made Mocha connected, and then you put a paw print in the middle of that,
Right.
where it was like, I'd have to draw it so you could see what it's in my head, and then make the clan and make that part of that round circle.
Right.
I think that may be cool. And then I have a shirt that I want to do that says, "The proof is in the Mocha. Fostering saves lives."
Right.
I don't know how I want the wording yet, but I'm thinking that was very true because for Mocha,
Right.
fostering did save her life.
You know what? I need to tell you that I got a notification in the mail for a package. And they said it was coming from you, but they want a postage due of $18.99.
Why? There's a letter in there.
Well, it's my post office in Aurora. They don't want to accept the free matter. It's just Aurora. So every time I need to send something out, I have to go to Denver.
Oh my goodness. So how are you going to get it? Are you going to fight it and open them up and say there's a big letter in there saying...
Big print letter, yeah.
Yes.
But, it doesn't matter. What Aurora wants, only the blind person sending out, not both ways. And Denver allows it both ways. But federally, it's supposed to go both ways. To and from.
So you're going to have to pay that?
They want me to pay that.
Are you going to be able to fight it?
No, I tried fighting it so many times.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry.
So, like, I had, they said, like, I just got the note, and I had to the third to, all the way they were going to send it back, and they said I had to the September 3rd.
Well, did you go pick it up?
No, because I just got the notice already.
So you have until September 3rd, but maybe on its way back to me?
Yeah.
Well, then we'll resend it back out to Denver. How far is Denver from you?
Yeah, but it's not even far at all. It's just, Aurora's just right next to Denver.
Okay. So
But,
if it comes back to me,
yeah.
if it comes back to me, we're sending it out to Denver?
No, like they want a paid postage. That's what Aurora wants.
But the 3rd is already passed. That's the thing I'm thinking.
Yeah. They want me to pay for the postage.
So so if it doesn't, will it come back?
Right, yeah, it will come back to you.
Okay.
Because I didn't get the notice on time, I got it too late.
So if it comes back to me, you'll send me stuff so I can send it to Denver.
I don't have an address in Denver.
Well, I'll just send it back out again, and we're not gonna worry about postage. That's
Right.
ridiculous.
Yeah, but they will not take, Aurora will not take free matter anymore. And if it's coming from a blind person, they don't want it where it's coming from a non-blind person.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Because Aurora claims that the post office claims that they lost a lot of money. So I don't know why. Had so many problems with the post office, and I never had this issue prior to moving. But every post office is different. I heard, from what I heard, because I'm taking Braille literacy through Hadley School for the Blind in Tennessee, out of Illinois. My instructor, this is an online course, and you have instructors that are based all over the U.S. My instructor is based out of Tennessee, and she tells me that Illinois stopped offering tracking numbers for the free matter.
Because the other one went through?
Yeah, because that was a record, that's why.
Well, if I smash your cupcake, it'll be smeeshed.
Yeah.
I may have to smeesh.
Yeah.
I don't want to smush it.
I know.
It'll unsmush it if you recognize it back again, but I really don't want to smush it.
Right. Yeah, but then even though, like, because I don't know how they work, but with Aurora, they're more tight on the free matter. Like, they only want like media stuff only, and they only want like large print Braille and sound recording only, and their mail stream.
Well, I hope it'll come back to me, and I'll just mail it to you so you can get your cupcake after all this ridiculousness.
Yeah, but I was fortunate I didn't have no issue with the record. Probably because it's sound recording,
I wonder if you go there this week and just say, you all sent me the notice on the 3rd, and it's already gone. I didn't even have a chance to recover this. And,
right.
At least go in and say that.
Right.
Because if you got the notice after it was sent,
right.
I would go back and to them at least complain. I didn't even have a chance. This was done on the 3rd. When did you get the notice?
What's today, the 7th? I
got it. So I go to them and say, how am I supposed to pick up a package that you all wouldn't take on the 7th when you're only giving me till the 3rd?
Right.
And the person that sent that put in a big letter in there for me, which is supposed to be covered under free matter. But even if it wasn't, I would have come in and taken care of the postage, even though I shouldn't have to. But how in the heck am I supposed to pick it up if you've given me till the 3rd and it's now the 7th and that's when I got the notice?
Yeah, but you know what? The post office are known to price gouge. So if they want to charge a postage due on anything that's free matter, they'll charge you more to receive it.
Because I can guarantee you, I just sent out a cupcake, and you can tell them, and I can tell you exactly how much it cost.
To send it, right?
Yes, and it went to Sandy Wandy, who's on here, in California.
Yeah.
And it wasn't more than $7, and that's exactly what she paid for postage through the fourth wall, and good night. So you can tell them I just sent one. It was $7.
$7,
$18.
But what they're basically charging for the weight and the type of mail and destination. The further out, the more expensive.
They wouldn't like me very much. They wouldn't, Alfonso. They wouldn't. Did you hear that? They gave him the notice on the 3rd, and they give him the notice on the 3rd to come pick up the package. Pick up the package on the 3rd. You know how much they want to charge him? $18.
No. What?
$18.
$18, and the whole thing is supposed to be covered under free matter. Yeah, they wouldn't like me too much. No. No.
Every post
I would
office
be raising the rooftops.
Yeah, every post office is different. Because, when I lived in New Mexico, they were really good about the free matter. In fact, every time I send something free matter, they will get it within a couple of days in New Mexico. Because they do a very good job handling it. They treat it as first class. Because if I want a book from the library for the blind up in Santa Fe going down to Cruces, usually I get it the next day.
Well, I would be going to the post office and just complaining of the fact that they sent you the notice on the 3rd. You had until the 3rd to pick up a package that they didn't give you the notice till the 7th. Ask you how you're supposed to accomplish that one.
Right.
So I would be doing a little bit of complaining.
Right.
And maybe they still have the package.
Yeah, they probably send it back. They probably
Well,
send it back.
if it comes back to me, I'm going to go to my post office. I'm actually going to call the post office. Believe me.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of Lizzie in me, and when people irritate me,
You have a little bit of Lizzie. I have a little bit of 350 pounds.
I don't like people messing with people that I care about.
Right.
When
Yeah,
things aren't fair, nope.
Nope. The post office want to get it their way here. They want to try to make big bucks for it.
No.
Well, I'm gonna play another song called Negra de Mi Vida.
On a happier note.
Yeah. Yeah. If it comes back to you, hopefully it comes back to you, and you could just resend it, and then if you want to expedite it, whatever. But just hoping the mail carrier doesn't eat it on the way.
That would not be good.
Yep.
But I'm going to if it comes back to me, I think you should go to your post office though and fuss a little bit about the fact that they told you that you had until the 3rd, but they gave you the notice on the 7th. I think you should do that.
Right.
And you can tell them that I just mailed one of those things. Of course, it didn't have a big note in it that was covered under free matter to California and only cost $7.
Right. Right.
I got the box. It's like this. Oh boy.
Maybe give us an odd-shaped box that they think that they don't consider it qualifying matter. I don't know.
Should I make the cupcake sing?
I don't know, but like I tell you what, back in the days, we had to send these for repair. A Braille typewriter, we would have to send these for repair.
Yeah.
But the older ones, they weigh like 50 pounds, 50, 75 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
The older ones. This is just a newer model. But imagine having a real old one where you just send it to repair. That is heavy.
Yeah, I would assume.
And that qualifies free matter. Now, back then when we get our talking books, they used to be on records. Our talking books, they used to be on records. All the audiobooks used to be on record back in the days. And they had a specialized record player for that plays at a low speed, like 8 RPMs. Like the standards, like the 33s and the 45 and 78s and the 16. Now the talking books for the blind on record, they were either 8 RPM or 16 RPM. They were played at a much lower speed. And they had a special record player. Now, those were real heavy too.
I'm assuming it would be.
So those have to go postage free.
Sandy says, I remember spoken word records. I do too.
Yeah. They're talking book records.
Yeah.
For the blind.
We've come a long way.
Yeah. Now our books come in digital cartridge or download now. You download our books now. So technology has come a long ways from here.
Gosh, we'll shut up. We're not doing that.
I'm going to play another polka from New Mexico.
Awesome.
Thank you. Playing the old stuff, man. The good stuff back then,
Tiffany
right?
says we had children's stories on records. I remember those too.
Yeah.
I remember.
They were considered audiobooks back then. They were the audiobooks back in the days, right?
Yep.
That's what they were.
Then we went from records, then books on tapes.
I had one about Pac-Man, Pound Puppies, a couple others.
I think all school books should be on Audible.
Yeah. You know, they are like, you know, the library for the blind, they convert a lot of the books out there commercially, they convert it to audio.
I think every school book should come with the book and then a CD.
Right.
Because to me, I'd have learned so much better if I would have been
Right.
able to have, or at least have the ability to give it to a kid that needs it. I just know I did so much better
Right.
when I had things where I heard them and then read along. I did 10 times better.
Right. Now I'm gonna go grab my banjo. And I'm going to play you Do Lord.
I like that one. Yeah, I love that one. You do that one. Awesome. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Oh,
can't
I
believe
have.
that
Go ahead. I'm
multiple
sorry.
instrument. People don't believe that I can play multiple instruments. Like, they find it amazing.
I don't find it amazing. I think it's a great talent. I
Yeah.
think you do it very well.
Thank you.
I know I couldn't do it, but I think you do it beautifully.
Thank you.
Oh, one thing I found out through just accident last night
Right.
was that I actually have now been given the ability to have, on YouTube there's
Right.
the redirecting tool.
Right.
I've got it,
Wow.
which means that I could, if I wanted to, go on like at 8:30 at night,
Right.
and then be able to redirect it to your stream at 9:30.
Right.
Or redirect it to anybody I wanted to, but I have that. I think you have to set it up prior to going on. But I was like,
for me to do, yeah, but for me to do that, I have to have the professional account.
No, you don't have to have a professional account. I can't remember. I think you have to have. You have to be either 1,000 subscribers or you have to be partially monetized or something. You don't have to have a professional account, but you have to have. I don't have 1,000 subscribers, but we're partially monetized. I think there's two. Let me look because I can't remember what it was. But anyway, I've got it.
Well, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I know you're not. Let me look so I don't. Requirements. I was looking at it the other night and I'm like, yay! Features available to creators setting to reach more than 1,000 subscribers and no community guideline strikes. But I saw it in my thing last night and I was like, oh wow. And I don't have 1,000, but I guess I'm close enough.
Right.
I'm looking, oh well. So it says 1,000, but I looked at it the other day and I'm like, I have the redirecting tool. So it says 1,000 and that's what I was waiting for, but anyway, I saw it. Maybe I'm close enough to 1,000 that they figure they're going to give it to me early. I don't know, but anyway, it's there. I was excited to see it. I'm like, oh, I have it.
I saw one channel that had like 1,000 subscribers, and then all of a sudden they lost a whole bunch. That they went from 1,200, they went down to 450.
Well, it depends. I mean, I wonder what content they're doing. They've done something to irritate somebody.
Right.
They're doing something that is making people either they're putting out content that is bashing other content creators.
Right. Or they're bashful of other content creators.
Well, people aren't going to stand for it.
Right.
It's why when people come on my channel, it's happened once, and it was handled quickly. The person was upset, and I understand that, but they respected our request to stop, and they're a faithful subscriber and a follower and a viewer, and I appreciate it, but we're just not going to tolerate that, because once you start putting that in, no, I don't. It doesn't mean that as a content creator you have to agree with everybody on YouTube. You're not going to.
Right.
But if from day one we have said we're not going to allow that, we're not going to allow other content coming in and, well, this content creator did this and this. No. We're small, so I haven't had a huge thing, an interaction with, I've had some, and we've had our, there's been times where there's been moments here and there.
Right.
But it's never winded up on our channel. We've worked it out. It was fine. It was done and it was over with. But it's not going to be, the dirty laundry doesn't need to be spread on the internet.
Right.
It's bad form when you
Right.
do it.
You know, I've been on somebody else's live recently, and in one of those sales channels where they do karaoke and all that. And when I got into perform and all that, the person who does this red channels, they were awesome. Then they had a troll that that channel got bashed because they say that you shouldn't have a blind person on your channel. They told her, and she kicked them off.
Rightfully so. Well, Sandy, yes, they do take if they're not watching away, and they do, and YouTube does clean out. But to go from 1,000 people to 450, there's something
Major.
Yeah, I mean, I've lost 20 subscribers and I gained 25 and I lost 20, but I mean, I was at 954 and now I'm at 953. That stuff happens, but to be that drastic, there's something going on.
Right. That drastic, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's off. If you've got the right mods and you've got the standard in there that says this is what our core is, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're not going to do.
Right.
You know, I mean, what's happening with that family member? I could have gone on the internet and I have told it, but I've been respectful of the other person and because I wanted to tell a little bit of the story. I didn't tell it originally when it first happened in our family,
Right.
but I thought I want to tell it, but I don't want to bash that person.
Right.
But I wanted to say to the world, listen, if you're going to disconnect from somebody because of their religious or political views, is it really worth it? You know, can you get along with somebody in life without agreeing with everything?
Right.
And, you know, but I still love the person. I wish they would come back in our lives, but that's up to them. I can't do anything. I've given it to God and said I've done everything I can. And it's hurtful, but like I thought, you know, be worthy of discussion to have on our channel is to be able to say, okay, people say, "Oh, I'm a Christian, I'm going to pray for you."
Right.
You know what? It gives the people that are living a Christian life, you know, believe in Christ, it gives them not the greatest. People don't look at, I don't know how to word it in the right way. It's off-putting, even to me, because I think, yes, I am a Christian, and yes, I do pray for people, and I pray with people. But at the end of the day, where do I want to point them to? The cross and to Jesus. And depending on how you say it, it can sound so off-putting.
Right.
And people are watching. Well, they say they're a Christian, but they're doing this, and they're, you know, so it gets thrown around, and then the purpose of showing people the Bible and Jesus and the cross gets lost.
Right.
And not everybody has to agree with me or you know, our beliefs.
Right.
But can we still be friends at the end of it?
Right.
And it's going to get worse, guys. It's going to get worse coming up. There's going to be a lot of mudslinging coming up, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, definitely big time.
Yep, they can't get along if they don't agree with their political views. But
right.
It's going to get tougher as the months go on, and it's going to get very divisive, and people are going to lose friendships over it.
I can't wait till the election year's over with. That's all I can say.
Yes, and I just hope people will vote. I hope people will vote and do the research behind their vote.
Right.
If there was somebody going into office, whether they were a Democrat or Republican, but they were not so radical on the Democratic side,
Right.
or the vice versa, and they had good policies and they had a good moral and a good character, even though whatever I am party wise, I may choose to vote the opposite party.
Right.
But if people are not doing their research and just voting because that's my party, or that's, a woman,
Right.
I mean, I have no problem with a woman being president.
Right.
But guys, do your research and make sure the people that you're putting in these positions, in these offices, are going to be doing it and serving the people,
Right.
not themselves.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I gotta tell you a story. Growing up, I was in elementary, middle school. I lived in Las Cruces, New Mexico. I was for so many years. I remember in elementary, I was in the 5th grade. They tell us to watch the presidential speech for homework, and they'll tell, well, because the presidents are specialized. They tell us presidents are specialized humans different from us because they hold special powers.
They put one pant leg on at a time.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear of it was President Bush,
Yeah.
and I think it was President Bush, one of the President Bushes, or Reagan, I can't remember, and he got up first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
and first day he was out of office, right?
Yeah.
And he's doing this number. He's taking his hand and he's feeling all around his dresser.
Yeah.
And his wife said to him, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm looking for the button to press to bring the coffee." She said, "You're no longer the president. Go make it yourself."
Yeah.
So I think it was President Bush. But people, let's just vote with, first of all, if you're following Jesus and you're following the Bible and you are a Christian, you need to be bathing this in prayer. And we have to remember one very important thing. Whoever is sitting in the office, God is still sitting on the throne.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's in that office. God is in control.
Right. Right.
Even when it seems like he's not, he's there. And so at the end of the day, we need to realize that and know that. But do your research. Don't just say, "I'm going to vote because the other person's running and it's a woman."
And when I was in the 7th grade, in New Mexico, President Clinton went to our city, and the school were giving out tickets to go see him. And that teacher told us, this is a once in a lifetime experience. You get to see a president in person. And please understand that a president are special humans, different from us, because they have whole special powers, and none of us do.
No, they're just the same as we are. And I'm not saying a woman could be president. I'm just saying don't vote just because it's a woman and you want a woman in office. Vote because you're doing the research behind each person and making sure their policies are going to be there to help you.
Right.
It is not better to have more government. Haven't we learned that? The least government and allowing the cities and the communities to come together to help their people that live there is 10 times better. The less government we have, the better we're going to be. The more government we have and restrictions and policies and all that kind of stuff, we may be back to horse and buggies by the time we're done.
Right.
Because I am not driving an electric car.
Right.
Yeah, people over in England, they have the electric cars. You know what they do when they get done with them?
Throw them away.
They throw them away and they get a brand new car.
Yep.
There are no electric cars on the roads lasting for 15 years.
No.
I had my Nissan Sentra that lasted for 18 years. there's no car out there that's electric. It is cheaper when the battery finally just goes and dies.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to go get a brand new car.
They
Now,
make it
that
that way
doesn't
so
say
because they
anything.
want you to buy a new vehicle every time it breaks.
Well, and we go down when we go down to visit Josh's family in Indiana. There's a section of road that we go on that when you start going in, we call it Windmillville. That's what I call it, Windmillville.
Right.
Okay, and I am telling you, I said to my husband, if I lived in this town, I would be moving out of here so fast, your head would spin, because all you see dotted all over this beautiful, beautiful farm countryside is windmill after windmill after windmill. They are the ugliest things, and you stop counting. I mean, you got one here, and then behind it, a couple more feet is one here, and then one. I mean, it is just
here in Colorado,
unbelievable.
we got windmills all along the interstate here in Colorado, like between Colorado City and Pueblo.
I mean, the solar farms aren't that bad because they're all level to the ground.
Right.
And, they're not too bad but the windmills, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country farm side, and you have got windmills lined up, dotted up, and I'm like, I said to my husband, I'd be out of here so fast your head would spin. I said I couldn't stand it.
They're trying to get rid of the farmlands here in Colorado.
Well, but still, I'd have been out of there.
Yeah.
And when those things go on fire, they can't do anything to get them out. They just have to let them burn to the ground.
Right.
I'm just like, I'd move out of there so quick your head would spin. I just couldn't take it. I mean, literally, we go, oh, here we go. We're going to Windmillville. And I mean, I could not count the amount of windmills that are just in this little town. I mean, there has to be at least 200.
Right.
I mean, it is unbelievable.
I think there's like around 400 here in Colorado.
I mean, it's different if it's going to be put on the side of a highway, but you got this beautiful farm country, and
Right.
I'm like, when are all these windmills dot all over the place? I'm just curious if it's helping them at all. But I mean, if it's helping them, wonderful. But they are the most ugliest things in the world to look at.
Right.
Anyway,
No,
I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
If it's helping people, that's fine. The batteries are hard to dispose. Yeah. Absolutely, Sandy. They are very hard to dispose. That's a great tune.
I saw the light. It was originally by Hank Williams. I don't think anyone that's still around knows who Hank Williams is now, right?
I know who Hank Williams is.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the young generation don't even know.
I think some people do if they're educated correctly.
Right.
My grandkids will know exactly who. Where I'm going to let them. They're going to know who some of these people are. Just like my grandmother did with me. I knew who. Barbara Streisand was. And
Yeah.
all those people. She made sure I knew who.
I remember 20 years ago I had a 78 RPM record of Barbara Streisand.
I've seen Johnny Mathis in concert. I've seen Mel Torme in concert. I'd have loved to see Sammy Davis Jr. in concert, but I saw Johnny Mathis several times actually in concert.
You know who was a famous singer, gospel singer?
Who?
Jimmy Davis. He was also the governor of Louisiana.
I've never heard of him. I'll have to look that up.
Jimmy Davis. He was real famous for gospel music. He was the one who wrote the song "You're My Sunshine."
Oh, I know that song. I'll have to look that one up.
It was originally written by Jimmy Davis, the governor of Louisiana.
There was a show one time, and I wish they would have brought it back, in this really small town in Mississippi. And they had a mayor there, and it was such a cute show. And they took it, they only done one season. I wish they had done another season because it was really funny. Little small town of like 400 or 500 people, and it was such a cute show. And I really wish that they had shown it because I really sat there and enjoyed it. And I forgot what show it was, but I wish they had done more of him. He was a neat guy.
The guy in Alabama or Mississippi?
Yeah, it was Mississippi, but I can't remember what it was.
That was on.
Yeah, it was
Family.
It was such a good one. I wish they had kept it around because it was such a good one.
Make sure my banjo's still in tune because sometimes it gets out of tune after a while.
You ready for fall?
I'm ready for fall. Ready for harvest season.
I know I am.
I think it's almost time for me to change my strings.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the difference. To me, it sounds just fine. But that's a talent.
Well, usually when you have tuning stability issues, that's a sign that you need to change your strings. Losing clarity, that's another sign.
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Weather for music for fall.
Yep.
I'm
Square
sure when
dancing's the
Christmas
time
rolls
we get-
around, we're going to be hearing lots of Christmas music,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah. When Christmas rolls around, best time to play some Christmas music, you know.
Bravo, Sandy says.
Thank you. I bet you the banjo's more common where you're at, right?
It's not, nobody in our church that I know plays it. There's a gentleman that plays the harmonica.
Oh, you got a harmonica player?
Yes. He'll come up and play the harmonica from time to time.
I think where did he get his from?
I can ask him.
If he has any spares.
When did you start playing the harmonica? What age were you?
Back in 2010, I was like 2010. I was I don't remember. I'm 40 now. 25 maybe, 24, 25. I don't exactly remember. But I tell you, been playing the keyboard since I was like 17 years old. So I remember when I got my first keyboard, it was a Casio CTK 570. That was my first keyboard.
And you loved it.
Yeah, that I got for Christmas that year in 2001.
I remember my first computer I got. I thought that was pretty cool.
Your first computer?
I was like, yay, first computer. And you had the dial up and the AOL and
Yeah,
don't knock the AOL, that's how I met my husband.
yeah. I remember my first stereo that I had when I was a senior in high school. It was an Emerson with the record player on top. That was my first stereo. Before, all I had was like cassette, boombox, and CD player. But I always wanted a record player.
I had a record player.
You did?
Yeah, I know, because I played Scott's record to death.
Yeah.
But I had a record player.
But 20 years ago, we had a hard time finding a record player with a needle.
I remember when we moved to Mansfield and we came to visit, we came to Mansfield. And in Mansfield was a friend of my mother's, and she had a record player, and Christina had never seen one up close. She goes, "Can I hear it? Because I've never seen it up close." And she was so fascinated by the fact that there was the record player.
Wow.
And it was like, she was like, "Can you please play it?" So she put on a record because Christina had never heard it.
Right.
No, before.
Yeah, Christina never heard it. She probably hasn't been around long enough.
Well, she heard it, but she had never seen one up close with putting the needle on, because none of that was something that we did. Everything was on her phone.
Right.
You know?
Christina might be really young. She might be what?
She's going to be 26 this September. This
Yeah,
is her birthday month.
Oh, yeah, so Christina, she's really young then.
It makes Mama feel really old.
Like, I have a 24-year-old, I have a niece who's going to be 25 next month in New Mexico.
They grow up way too quick.
Yeah. 26, wow.
I don't think I want to be 26 again. Nope. Nope.
I tell you, a lot of young teenagers don't even know what a record is nowadays, or a cassette tape.
No, because, I remember going into record stores when I was growing up.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to love to go into record stores. And we go shopping and get, records and all that kind of stuff.
Well, actually, where I'm from in New Mexico, one of my classmates opened up a record shop. A record store. One of my friends from college, he opened up a record store.
Well, that's cool, though. There's people that buy records. I just bought one. I never thought I'd buy one again, but I did.
Yeah.
Sure glad I had a place to go buy it.
Right. And one of my friends in college, we went down to the record store and looked through the records, and found some good ones there. Found some bluegrass, and my friend bought me the Beach Boys' first album, which was $50.
Well, that was a pretty, well, that's That's expensive. Well, it's not expensive, but compared to, it's not expensive, but you know, boy, if I had saved some of mine, my albums could have been worth a lot. Because they're going for a lot now because everybody's, they want to,
after the albums now.
yep.
Yeah, I remember my store now. The albums are going away basically. Like I've seen less and less of the albums on my store.
Well, yeah, because people are not, they don't have the equipment to play on them.
Well, before I used to see a large selection of records, but now I don't. There's not very much selection anymore. You figure that people are now holding on to them.
Well, they're not holding on to them because they're not cool anymore.
Right.
They're not cool beans anymore. They used to be, but they're not like they were.
I thought they were making a big comeback. No, I'm gonna play "Make Me a Channel of Your Peace."
What song was that?
Make Me a Channel of Your Peace. Also known as the Prayer of St. Francis.
Okay, so it's a, would it be considered a Catholic tune?
Originally, yeah.
That's why I haven't heard it before.
Yeah, it's when St. Francis wrote the prayer, like asking the Lord, make me a channel of your peace, where make me like an instrument of your piece where there's sadness may bring joy, where there's injury that may bring pardon.
It's a beautiful song.
Yeah. Let me pull up the lyrics so I could try singing it because I haven't sang that song in years. Let me see. Let me try and find the lyrics to that song. Okay, open. Wait. Let's see if I can share this. I don't know if you can see this.
Please.
Those are the chords. You see? Oops. Oh no, I dropped my pen.
Don't drop your stuff.
I know. I'm gonna try writing it again. Make me a channel of your peace, where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. Where there is sadness, oh, Master, grant that I may never see too much to be consoled, to console, to be understand, to understand, to be loved, to love. Make me a channel of your peace, pardoning that we are parted, and giving to all men that we've received, and dying that we're born to eternal.
That's pretty.
Yes. Yeah, that song was very famous, you know. Like if you really pay attention to the lyrics, you know, you're asking the Lord to please make me a channel of your peace.
Well, we have to be. God gives us peace,
Yeah.
even in the. That's what my aunt says. Is that right now in her life she has peace,
Yes.
even though she's going through a lot.
Right.
She said, I'm at peace, and that's what we're asking God to do.
Right.
We don't always have to like what we're going through, but we have to be. Sandy says nice.
Yeah. Like
You know.
that's what Francis wanted. Like where there to be peace, you know.
We don't always have to like it, but we have to say God's got a plan, even though we don't quite understand it.
Right.
And there's a lot of times we don't understand it.
Right. But you know that's one song. Because you know it originated the song originally written by Sebastian Temple in the '60s. Then it was translated to Spanish in Mexico, and we used to sing it in a lot in our church.
Well, it's a beautiful song. But I had never heard it before, so it's the first time for me hearing it.
I think other denominations started taking that song too into their service. I think the Lutherans started taking it, the Protestants started taking it.
Until you just did it, I had never heard of it before. So I'm glad I heard it.
Yeah. Make me a channel of your peace.
Yep. Boy, if I had to do that in my life. It's not always easy, but it's... No. God sometimes says... Sandy says, me too. We just have to be peaceful and know that God's got a plan, even though we don't quite understand it. Believe me.
Yeah, you know, going to church, growing up, you know, that I became familiar with a lot of the songs, you know.
Well, I think that's where, I know that's where I've heard a lot of hymns. And coming to a small church within this area, you know, more than I think what our church was down in Florida. You know, we put all the words in the bulletin, but here they don't. They use a hymn book, and we've learned. I know I've learned more. I've gotten to know more hymns because of them being in the hymn book.
Right. And you know, with me, I'm more used to the older hymns. And now, if I go to church, if I go to church nowadays, I think it's gonna be different.
Well, it depends what church you get involved into. If you get involved in a church that, depending on what they use, if it's a small church, they may not use the hymn books.
Right.
Or not hymn books. They may not use they may use the hymn books because, you know, every time, I know in my mom's church where she used to work at and where we went to, every time you get you would print the stuff in the thing, you're having to pay a copyright fee.
Right.
So they didn't want to do that. So, you know, I think it all depends on the church that you go to.
Right. But, you know, the last church I went to, you know what they do? They just take the music out of the hymn book and just scan the pages and put them up on the projector.
I mean, we've had that happen where they put songs that they want us to learn on, like, on the screen. But, like, all of our hymns are in the book, you know.
Right. But now they've just been projecting it, because I guess it costs so much to get a whole bunch of hymnals, and then them having to deal with replacing them every time one goes missing, whatever.
Well, I looked up to see if I could, get a hymnal, and it was like $40-$50 for a hymnal book.
Right.
It's like, jeez.
This one hymnal I want to get the large print, but it's been out like from the 1970s. The country gospel hymnal, the large print edition. It's now out of print. Something you can find it used on Amazon, but it's been out of stock.
And I'm sure it's got to be expensive.
There's time when I've seen the price go up to $130
Wow.
for a used one.
And those are the times you're sitting there going, I wish I had one of them.
Yeah.
But I still think that Betty hasn't, they have their right to make their money as they see fit, but you wonder if it's price
I looked on
gouging.
eBay, sometimes what the sellers do, and I see this happen a lot with the vinyl record. They'll put down last copy in the world. They'll list it as last copy in the world, and people will grab it up.
Hi, Lydia. How are you?
I've seen it many times. Many sellers listing several copies of the same record. Last copy in the world.
Well, they did. I don't know if they did, but I know with Scott's, I ran on that one like right. I was on top of that one.
Right.
Because I wanted it, and I knew at that point it was probably the last copy that was ever on the face of the planet.
Right.
But yeah, I could see where, people would, say that, and then suddenly they have another copy of it somewhere floating around.
Yeah. They just say that so they can sell it right away.
Well, yeah, because you see that in Big Bull Right, and you're like, okay, I got to jump on this. Well, I still can get the last one.
Right.
So, yeah.
And then after you buy it, then you find more online.
Well, I didn't find more of Scott's. I knew when I said that, I thought, I know that there's not a bunch of them.
Bunch of records?
No.
Like that?
Nope. Even Scott was shocked.
Right. Scott never kept a copy for himself, right, of his original?
Well, remember his house that he lived in burned. Oh, I'm so
okay.
sorry, Lydia. His trailer he was in burned. So if he had any, there wasn't any left.
Right.
But what I did was what was it? I did thanked people that when they became a member on our channel, or the members that are there.
Yeah.
I did a little video, and I used Have You Met Miss Jones, which I thought was so fitting.
Right.
And so we put it on there. So now just that section where he's just that really fast one,
yeah.
part of it, I have that section. So when somebody becomes a member, or at the very end of the stream, we just thank all our members and it gets played, and he's in that little part. So I've used so much of that music between our intro and the outro and the birthdays. It's like, and I'm so glad to do it because he feels like somebody's hearing his music. He's not just, it's not just, that he's getting heard finally, which makes my heart happy.
Right. And then now that he's blind too, right?
He's totally blind. He's 100%. He can't see anything. So he's been that way since birth.
Right.
So.
But isn't that amazing that you get blind musicians and all that too,
Well, when God gives you a talent, who's to say that God's the one who is the orchestrator of that.
Right. And I tell you what, I've been told by my state agency in New Mexico how, when I went to Commission Blind, I gone through 5 or 6 different counselors. And I was in the process of going back to school, and I told my counselor, I'm going to go back to school. Catholic Charities closing, want me to go back to school. Because something's happened in my store that time. I don't know. They couldn't tell me why at that moment. But I know the Catholic Charity store closed down. They just didn't want me to feel that emotional impact, knowing that they were closing down. So they got me out first, and they put me through college.
And you learned a lot.
Yeah, and that counselor that I had, you know what she told me? That I feel like I chose creative media technology, and you know what? I'm sorry, but there's no way a blind person can be artistic. There's no way. She told me.
Well, she obviously didn't know that, because I could have been able to correct her on that.
Yeah, so there's no way a blind person can be artistic.
That's a bunch of hogwash. Sorry,
Yeah.
but it is.
Yeah, but she did not last very long because she would tell, well, she would place people in jobs that don't work out because she's just in it for the money.
That type of work, you can't be in it for the money. You got to be in it because your heart's in it.
Yeah. To be a vocational rehab counselor, you got to do the job correctly.
Yep.
And then not only that, but she was just placed. But here's the thing: with the state, they gave these agencies incentive to place these individuals in jobs within 3 months or less. That's what the state was doing.
3 months or less. It seems a little bit.
So they just place them in whatever job is open.
That's not good.
caring, if the job's gonna really work out or not.
That's not good.
No. Even job developers were really taking advantage of it. If your counselor assigns you a job developer, the job developer will go, oh yeah, here's a job that's open, let's go apply here and there. And one time the Commission Blind, they tried to get me a job working from home back in 2013, where you're taking Word doc and convert it to PDFs. And then finding out to apply, you got to pay a certain fee. Then you got to pay for the application processing fee, and then buy some equipment. And then not only that, they send you a $3,000 bogus check for you to cash and send the rest. Keep $200 for yourself and send the rest back. And you know what? This sounds like a scam. I told my counselor.
Well, that would sound like a scam to me, too.
Yeah, it was a bogus.
See ya. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I told that counselor, you know what? This is a scam.
Yeah, I agree.
This sounds like a scam. Wait a minute, this doesn't sound legit. Where did?
No, it doesn't sound right.
During the process, they'll send you a $2,000-$3,000 check to keep $250 for yourself and wire the rest back overseas.
Overseas?
Yeah.
You didn't do it, did you?
No, but my counselor did it on my behalf. Which the agency paid the money.
I wonder sometimes.
Yeah, that counselor paid. Paid up, And then when she got the check, she cashed it, and on my behalf, in the name of the agency. Guess what? That was it, man.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't fall for it, I told them.
Okay, people, don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, they are vocational rehab counselors that they try to take advantage, of the incentive, trying to place people in jobs real quick.
Because then they get a cut of it.
Yeah, they get a huge cut. Yeah, if you're a vocational rehab counselor, you're in like with the Division of Vocational Rehab in your state, or any blind low vision service unit in your state, or commission blind, just be wary. If your counselor says that, oh, here's a job, go apply here and there. Um, please take, please try to look at it, think twice about it. Is it going to work out for you in the long run? Is it going to suit your ability? Just think twice. Because if you get the first job, whatever, because they just want to get the incentive, that they tell you to go apply for.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fit your interest, whatever, I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it either.
Because they're supposed to help you find a job that best suit your ability and your interest.
I had that done with Christina.
Through the vocational rehab, right?
Well, it was like job placement for her first job.
Yeah.
And it helped. But we did that for her too, for the first little bit.
Right.
So.
Because usually once they place you in a job and all that, what happened is under the vocational rehab, they kind of follow you for the first 3 months of your employment.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing that. And then once after the 3 months that you've been successfully employed, boom, they close your case successfully. And then after that, you got any issue with your job, and if you still have the same job, you got any issues, you could go back to them and they'll just reopen your case. You don't have to apply.
Yeah.
That's how the vocational rehab program works.
Christina tried, it didn't work out, but I think she would have stayed with it at the time, it would have been beneficial, but
yeah, to get a post-employment, you gotta have the same job,
Yeah.
And the reason, in my case, when I worked at Walmart in 2009, I was placed there. But being close to a year, I started having difficulties.
Christina didn't last long at Walmart either.
No.
No.
But I lasted 11 months, like 2 weeks shy of being a year.
Well, lasting 11 months at Walmart ain't bad either.
No.
But I'm glad you're someplace you enjoy now.
Oh, yeah. I enjoy, honestly, I did enjoy working at Walmart. I made a lot of friends there. I enjoy being the car pusher. That was the closest to the railroad.
It takes, Christina's working at a grocery store now, and it's like, I'm like, it takes a special person to really, be able to be in customer service. It really does.
Oh, yeah.
Because, people be kind to you people that are working customer service, because they get beat around a lot.
Yes. And when I worked at Walmart, I tell you what, the manager that hired me on, he knew about my disability. He knew that I was blind. But he got in trouble. I was not supposed to be a car pusher in the first place.
Why?
Safety reasons. It was a safety.
Makes sense.
Because I couldn't see the hand signals at a far distance, and you got to be able to see that, like 200 or 300 feet away.
Hand signals to push in carts? I didn't know about that.
Well, we don't push carts manually anymore. We have like a locomotive, like an engine.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yes. But you got the train on your hand. You got the train on your hand and the remote in your other hand, so you got to be able to see the hand signals out of very far distance.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got to be able to see when you see the hand signal like this. means kind of like caution, slow the train down. And when we see double hand signal like this, means to stop the train. Or when you see that hand motion going this way, mean go to your right, or if it's the opposite, go to your left.
I didn't know there was hand signals. So
Yeah, I couldn't see those signals until I was like within 5 feet range. And they tell me, dude, you might be blind as beep, and they tell me you shouldn't be out here, man.
well, I'm glad nothing happened.
I was very lucky.
Yeah. If you think about it, Alfonso, you've been very lucky a lot in your life.
Oh yeah, I
It
was
may
very
not
fortunate.
seem like that, but you have been. God's protected you from some things, and I think
and I tell you what, like the first 6 months, there were so many complaints where they were saying that I almost got hit by cars, stuff like that. Like how? Like I couldn't explain myself because I wouldn't see it.
you know exactly who it was that protected you.
Yeah.
It's like my husband, right smack.
Right. But like I'm sorry, like I didn't see no car. I would just say that, and like, yeah, and they're telling because your vision is very limited. That's why. And then they decided to put me inside maintenance after 6 months, cleaning, dusting, mopping, the floors and all that.
God was protecting you because He has a purpose for you.
Yeah, and then I tell you what. Then after, I think within my last, I think in the like a month before I got let go, that's when things started changing. Where we had to do everything in a routine setting. We had to do adding time limits. You have to clean the restroom within 5 minutes. You got to sign off, and then you got to take the trash within 15 minutes throughout the whole store. And then they call timely assignment. So that's when in that instance, because then I kept my job, I contacted my rehab agency, let them know that I started to have difficulties. So that's how I got a post-employment. And the post-employment was basically supposed to help you keep the job, not lose it.
Did it help you?
Nope, because I still lost my job. Because what happened was my limited vision with the changes of the routine. That manager wanted me to have a job coach permanently, and that agency was not set up that way. DVR is not set up. Neither is Commission for the Blind. And the way you could get a job coach on a permanent basis, you're on the DD waiver. But in that instance, my manager told me you need to have a job coach permanently, because that's the only accommodation. You cannot be having your coworkers helping you read or nothing like that.
Well, at least the place you're working now, you're enjoying.
Oh yes, and then not only that, and then they sent me out to, once I got my job coach helping with the changes and all that and of the job structure. Then they sent me out to go collect trash in the parking lot. I was all excited, get ready to get out and collect the trash, and and then all of a sudden. I go outside, I looked over my big old trash car pushing, and the height of the car was like right up to my nose, blocking my view basically. So the moment I step out into the parking lot and crossing over, a speeding car comes by and boom, sends my trash cart flying, hits it and sends all my trash flying everywhere. And I tell you what, after that, my manager called me into the office that, you know what, I'm gonna have to put you on the medical leave of absence because your limited vision is you're a safety hazard to yourself and others.
Well, at least you were protected.
Right. I was
You know.
upset when he let me go like that.
Well, yeah. I'd be too.
And I remember my mom got so mad at me for losing my job. She said it was my fault because I said this, I said that. Like I should have never told him about my disability in the first place.
Well, you did what you had to do, and you
Yeah.
had to tell him about your disability. I
Even
tell
if I
my
didn't
daughter.
tell
the
my
same.
agency, I was gonna tell him for me.
Oh, yeah. I tell my daughter you have to, because people are willing to understand it more. And Sandy Wendy says my sister was helped by vocational rehab, but only when she was very young. Customer service was hard for my sister. It can be difficult. My daughter's a cashier. Believe me, I'm blown away every day because I never thought she'd be a cashier.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes, never thought it. I thought she'd never, because trying to get this girl to count money. But today you don't use money like you used to use it.
Right. No,
Yeah.
but yeah, my store we get cash. We need cashiers in my stores.
Yeah.
We're always hiring cashiers. They don't stay long.
Well, because customer service is a very difficult. It is, hands down difficult.
It can be difficult because I know from my experience, especially working here at the thrift store, we get all kinds of customers. We get shoplifters. Shoplifter, we have to be careful. They could be aggressive. We've been told that we should not approach anyone shoplifting. If we see them shoplifting, we should not go up to them or approach them. Like always let a supervisor or management know because the last thing they want is them lashing out on any of us or hurting us.
I had that happen when I was working at a store. I had a girls steal, but that was ages ago. I don't know if I'd confront people today. I really don't. I'm
Yeah.
just thankful I could. Unfortunately, I mean, I have my good days, but I was out there paint pouring and I was hurting, doing it. I can't
Right.
stand for any length of time, so I couldn't do, any long stuff. And then, of course, the medication I take in order to keep the pain at bay makes me
Right.
sleepy at times. So I never know. I never know what tomorrow's going to bring. None of us really do, but
Right.
anyway, it's about the 2-hour mark. It's 11:30 here, and I have to go to church.
All right.
Not that I'm not enjoying it. I always do.
Yeah.
But you could probably start seeing I'm getting a little bit tired. Usually when I get done, it takes me about an hour to wind down.
Yep. And I'm gonna go ahead and close out with one more song. And close out with Silver Bell, so we're getting into the fall. All right. All right. Thank you all for coming. You have a good night.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
So you're gonna do one next week?
Yes. Yes.
Bye, Sandy Wandy. Bye, Lydia. Thank you for everybody showing up.
Thank you all.
And I'll see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Have a good Sunday, Alfonso.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.